I had to retape this. Hang on. Yeah. You can probably guess why. Happy Sunday, everybody. Just about time for Strat-O-Matic baseball. And we've got Kenyon, Franklin, and Ben here. Ben had to leave early yesterday for real life stuff. Well, that happens. Let me grab my damn fine cup of coffee. And we'll see what's going on here today. And there's Kelly checking in. Hello, Kelly. Looks like I've hit the magic 300 mark. Well, I don't know if it's magic, but 300 subscribers. I'll tell you what, I never would have dreamed that possible. Yeah, Kenyon already mentioned it. There you go. And here's Mookie right on the table where I keep the... No, he's going to try to eat them. The computer-only cards I have printed for these two teams. He's become a card eater. Let me focus this in a little better. I'm going to refresh. Ben's having tea. As we have, he seems to be, Franklin, yeah. I've got to watch my cards now. Alrighty. Let's take a look at today's game. We're going to jump over to the National League. It'll be the New York Mets at the Houston Astros. The Mets come in 11-18. And that puts them in 9th place. 8.5 back. They're a game and a half ahead of last place Cincinnati. Astros 19-18. They are tied with St. Louis, 4.5 games out of first place. Although Houston has lost 8 of their last 10 games. So they were 17-10. Wow. Yeah, I remember that. You guys remember that? They were right in the thick of it. Certainly not out of it by any means at 4.5 back. Tied for 4th with the Cardinals, but they've really been in a nosedive of late. Jack Fisher is the starting pitcher here for the Mets. Pretty solid card for Fisher. 3.68 ERA in real life, about a hit an inning. Good control, not a big strikeout pitcher, but overall numbers pretty solid. Roberts at the tail end of his career, frankly, not a very good card. He would wind up finishing the year with the Cubs. He's also one of the primary victims of the early in the replay coffee spill incident, which claimed the cards of several Houston players. Looking at the replay numbers here, let's take a look at Fisher first. Fisher 2-4 with a 4.94 ERA, 11 appearances, 6 starts, 47 1/3 innings. He's allowed 55 hits and struck out 25. Roberts 7 starts, 1 relief appearances. He's 1-1. He has 1 complete game, a 4.70 ERA. So just slightly better than Fisher's, with a bad card, but in 38 innings, 50 hits allowed, 18 strikeouts. 50 hits and 11 walks, so 61 base runners in 38 innings for Roberts, and yet he's managed to keep his ERA at 4.7. I got a feeling that's not going to hold up. And welcome to Thomas, checking in from Ohio. Ben, you're at 15 there in Wisconsin, huh? See, I finally got it right. God, he gets everything he wants, Ben. I don't know what to do with him. We're 41, mostly sunny today. It's actually a pretty nice day for late fall here in Spokane. And here's the Mets lineup for you. Ron Hunt leads it off at second base. Cleon Jones in center field in the 2 spot. Mets are glad to have Ken Boyer back in the lineup. He'll play third base and bat third. Dick Stewart, Dr. Strangeglove at first base in the cleanup spot. Ed Kranepool in left field hits fifth. Ron Swoboda in right bats sixth. Jerry Grody will do the catching and hit seventh with Roy McMillan at short. And Jack Fisher, the pitcher, rounding out the lineup. For the Astros defensively, it's Bateman catching. Gentile at first, Morgan and Jackson up the middle with Aspromani in third. Pretty much the usual alignment, or we'll call it the first string alignment for the Astros. May, Wynn, and Staub from left to right out in the field. Franklin's cutting the chill at 62, yeah. We have no snow in the long-range forecast yet, but we're going to hover around high of around 40 degrees all week. Shouldn't be too bad, though. Anything over freezing when we get to this point of the year and into the winter is fine with me. I don't like it when the roads get slick. I won't drive. We've got just under 12,500 were in attendance here at the Dome. Paul Pryor's your home plate umpire. He says, play ball. Roberts is ready to go, and up steps Ron Hunt to lead things off. Hunt, the Mets' leading batter at .318. No homers, 6 RBIs for the right-handed second baseman. Here's Roberts into the windup. That's going to be a 1-7, and he bangs a line drive single into left field to get things started. So leadoff single for Hunt. Hunt a star 15 stealer, so let's take a look at the Houston battery. Roberts with a +1 hold. Bateman a 0. That would make Hunt a 16, so they're going to have to hold him at 14. With an 8 and a 10 automatic caught, that would be, 8 out of 36. That'll be enough to deter him from attempting the lead. And Cleon Jones will step up to the plate, hitting .261. Just 1 homer, 6 RBIs for Cleon. Roberts out of the stretch. Here's the pitch to Jones now. It's a 2-6. Single to right field, an open single. Hunt can go to third. He's a 14-16, but Staub with a -4 gun out there makes it a 12. They're going to think twice about that, and they put the brakes on. Smart move by Hunt because Staub has a rifle out there. So Hunt holds at second. And here's Ken Boyer. We haven't seen Ken in a while. 23 for 86 on the season at .267. He's second on the team in batting. 2 homers, a dozen RBIs. Safe to say the Mets have missed Boyer. Roberts into the windup. Pitch to Kenny. A 4-10 is a shallow fly ball to left field. In comes Lee May to make the catch. 1 down. And here's Dick Stewart. Stewart at .231 on the year, just 9 for 39. He has 1 home run. Roberts with the pitch. It's a 2-5, and he loses him ball 4, and that's going to load him up. Jones down to second, Hunt to third. And the Mets have loaded the bases here in the first inning with 1 away. That'll bring up Ed Kranepool, left-handed batter, hitting .239 on the season, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. The Astros will play the infield at double play depth with the bases loaded. Roberts the full windup. The pitch to Kranepool on a 2-7. It's a fly ball to center field. B question mark. I'm going to have to refresh my memory on that one. He can try to tag on that. Runner, it's the rating arm +2. Rating and arm +2. So the runner at third, Hunt, 14-16. To center, Wynn's a 0. He's going to tag up and try to score. Here comes the throw from Wynn on a 16. He scores. So sac fly to center, Kranepool. Hunt scores. That's an RBI for Kranepool. And the Mets jump on top 1-0. R.I.P. Mr. Met. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit more, Ben. I'm confused. What else is new, right? First and second, 2 away. Up steps Ron Swoboda. Swoboda just 11 for 60 so far. That's a 183 average. Does not have a home run. 8 RBIs. The pitch from Roberts. That is a 1-7 fly ball to center field. Jimmy Wynn, ranging to his right, hauls it in, and that'll do it. The Mets get a run on 2 hits, leave a pair. After half an inning, it's New York 1, Houston coming to bat. Oh, that's right. I remember reading about Kranepool now. I didn't know he was called Mr. Met, though. So I learned something. I would have thought maybe Marv Throneberry, or if you're looking for a better player, maybe even Cleon. But Kranepool was Mr. Met. How about that? As Jack Fisher gets loose, let's go over the Houston lineup. That's going to be Joe Morgan at second, Sonny Jackson at short, Jimmy Wynn in center in the 3 spot. This is the same lineup they've used for several games in a row now. Jim Gentile at first base hitting cleanup. Rusty Staub in right field 5th. Bob Aspromani at third base. Lee May in left field. John Bateman behind the dish hitting 8th. And Roberts, the pitcher, bats 9th. The Mets have Jerry Grody behind the dish. Stewart at first. Hunt and McMillan up the middle. Ken Boyer down at third, and the outfield Kranepool, Jones, and Swoboda. So he was on the very first team. I'm guessing most of you have seen the Ken Burns baseball, right? I was watching a lot of it yesterday. And I saw the one from the 60s. I don't remember them mentioning Kranepool. They did mention Throneberry and some of the pitchers, Roger Craig. Of course, Jeffrey here, and by the way, welcome, Jeff. Probably could tell us a lot about the Mets. Okay, bottom of the first, Fisher ready to work. Joe Morgan will start it off. He's at 241, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs, 34 runs scored, and 35 walks. Both of those last 2 figures among the league leaders. Fisher into the windup. That's a 4-5 left-handed. It's a grounder down to first. Stewart will take it himself. And there's one away. Here's Sonny Jackson now. Jackson hitting .281 so far, 1 homer, 8 RBIs. Left-handed hitting shortstop. Fisher into the windup. That's a 1-8 single to 2 on a 19. That liner right into the glove of Ron Hunt. Little soft liner right at Hunt. 2 down quickly. And here's the toy cannon. Wynn still leading the club in pretty much all offensive categories. A .361 average, 8 home runs, and 36 runs batted in. The Astros have played 37 games, 36 RBIs in 37 games. Fisher with the pitch to win. That's a 4-7 right-handed, a single to 3, and that grounder's going to be stopped at first by Stewart. He underhands to Fisher covering, and it's a neat 1-2-3 inning for Jack Fisher. We've played an inning here. It's 1-0 Mets. Just getting started. Go ahead and get comfortable, grab something to drink or eat, whatever the case may be, and spend a little bit of your Sunday with me. Expecting a football crowd today, of course. That's okay. The show must go on. Robin Roberts, rated 5 for endurance. And the Mets will have the bottom third of the order. Grody, McMillan, and the pitcher, Fisher. Jerry Grody just 12 for 56 so far. That's a .214 average. Does not have a home run. 8 runs batted in for Jerry. Roberts into the windup now on a 6-7 right-handed. It's a grounder to second base X. Tough chance for Morgan, a 3E30 as he ranges to his left. It's a 17. He's there. Throws him out, 1 down. So nice play, Morgan. And here's Roy McMillan, dubbed Mr. Shortstop earlier in his career. Just 16 for 77 so far, a .208 average. He does have a home run, believe it or not. Roberts into the windup. That's a .411 base hit into left field for McMillan. Roy with a 1-out single. Not a star stealer. And Fisher will be up. Let's check his bunting rating. He's an A bunter. Right-handed batter. With 1 out, I'm going to let the die roll it for in or back. It's going to be in. He'll be a B, and he's going to lay it down. Fisher squares to bunt. A 10B, and he bunts into the force play. Bunted it to the pitcher, Roberts, who goes down to Morgan to get the force. Fisher bunted it a little bit too hard. Hit into the force play, 2 down, and here's Hunt. Roberts from the stretch. It's a 6-5 right-handed. That's going to be a ground ball to shortstop X. That's Jackson, a 3E40. Into the hole goes Sonny. That's a 16. He's there and throws him out. Nice play, Jackson, to retire the side. 6-3X. No runs a hit, 1 left on. And it's still 1-0. And welcome to Rick. What is the no fun league, Rick? Get footballed out this week. Well, one of my buddy in California is doing just that. Oh, I get it. NFL no fun league. See, as I say, I haven't followed football in many years. Modified American rugby, yeah, you bet. Fisher getting ready to go to work here in the bottom of the second. Jim Gentile will start it off for Houston. Comes into the game hitting .271, 3 homers and 19 RBIs. Fisher into the windup now. It's going to be a 1-12 liner right into the glove of Stewart. It's a low max to first. In this case, the max is 1. 1 away, and here's Staub. Staub batting .312, 6 home runs, his 34 RBIs among the league leaders. Fisher gets the sign from Grody now. Here's the pitch to Staub on a 3-7. He pops him up right side. Dick Stewart, he's going to take that one too. Dr. Strangeglove making a couple of plays here in the second, and here's Bob Aspromonte. 243 on the year, 3 homers, 17 RBIs. Fisher with the pitch. It's a 2-2. It's another low max, a liner to Hunt, and that will do it. 3 up, 3 down for the Astros. 6 up, 6 down for Jack Fisher. 2 innings in the books. It's 1-0 Mets. Hope everyone's had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I know nothing about the rugby or the football, so I can't comment on any of that. Yeah, I didn't notice Mike Vitt come in. Greetings, Mike. He's definitely not watching football. Well, you know, Mike, their loss is my gain. That's how I look at it. That's right, Ben. You got the 5-day weekend. I remember that now. Mets come to bat in the third. Cleon Jones will start things off. He singled his first time up. Roberts getting the sign from Bateman now. Pitch to Jones is a 1-9 right-hander. That's a 2-hopper to third, backhanded by Aspromonte. Long throw across in time. Here's Boyer now, back in the lineup after a brief layoff. He's 0 for 1 today. Roberts into the lineup. That's a 4-7. Base hit up the middle for Boyer. And the Mets say, welcome back, Ken Boyer. .496 at-bats that year in real life, so I'd have to think he's more or less back to stay. Here's Stewart now. He walked his first time up. Roberts out of the stretch. Pitch to Dick Stewart is a 6'6 right-hander, and he pops him up on the left side. That's Aspromonte waiting for it to come down and squeezes it for the second out. Mookie just climbed to the top of the tower as Ed Kranepool steps to the plate. Mookie just finally reached his box suite up there. Taking his seat now. Here's Kranepool. Sac fly drove in the game's only run so far. Roberts' pitch to the lefty is a 6-6, and it's a fly ball to straightaway left field. Kranepool lifts one the other way. Lee May makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. And pitching duel so far here. One thing I learned in that Ken Burns thing, I mean, I've seen it before. Obviously, I've heard this before and just forgot. But in those early years when the Mets were really bad, they were outdrawing the Yankees in attendance. I was impressed by that. On the road in this one, of course, they're at the Astrodome. Whoops, wrong team. Lee May will lead off the bottom of the third for Houston. May at 278, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs. Fisher, the windup and the pitch. It's a 6-6 left-handed. It's a single to 16 on a 20. Nice stop by Hunt to his feet and throws him out. That's going to bring up the catcher Bateman, hitting .262, 4 homers, 17 RBIs. I kind of wonder if it wasn't because New York was so happy to have a National League team back, they didn't want to see another one move away. Figure we better support this one. We all saw what happened last time. A feeling that may soon be shared by the residents of Tampa Bay, eh, Franklin? I wouldn't be surprised if they bailed. I frankly think that they should. Fisher into the windup now. The pitch to Bateman is a 2-9. Caught the corner, strike 3 called. Bateman rung up on strikes. 2 down, and here's Roberts. Robin Roberts, a switch hitter. He'll be batting lefty against Fisher. Here's the pitch on a 1-3. Grounder down to second. It's going to be Hunt over to Stewart, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jack Fisher. 9 up, 9 down for Fisher. 3 innings in the books. It's 1-0 Mets. Do you, Ben? I don't know about that one, but it would seem to me that they're pretty much a fixture in Chicago. I mean, just the season they had, we don't even need to talk about that, but a new modern-day record for futility. I'll just leave it at that. As we go to the 4th, in a 1-0 ball game. Is there talk of them moving? I hadn't heard anything about that. Here's Swoboda 0 for 1. Has there really? Okay. Where would they go? Any thoughts on that? I kind of think Montreal should get another shot. And for me personally, I'm not sure it would work. I'd like to see a team in Portland. Whether they could support it or not, boy, they sure support their AAA team, I'll say that, and their college team. I kind of think they could. I realize the population may not be quite as large as what you would like to see. Of course, if you win games, they'll come, right? Here's Swoboda 0 for 1. Robin Roberts, the sign from Bateman now. Here's the pitch to Swoboda. It's a 2-3, and he hits him. Oh my, Swoboda drilled. Walking slowly down to first. That is the second time he's been hit this season. So Swoboda will take first with nobody out. 13-14. He will not be held. With Grote up, he's going to try for the lead. 5 or 6. 6, he's got it. 1-14. There he goes. Bateman's throw, he's stolen it. How about that? Swoboda, hit by the pitch, promptly steals second. I'm going to guess that's his first steal of the season, and it is. Doesn't get a chance too often with a no-star 13. With a +1 battery. and a slow-running catcher at the plate, he gambled and made it. Exception to every rule, I guess, Franklin. But yeah, I think you could throw the Marlins in there too. My personal thought is that baseball in Florida is doomed. And thanks, Thomas, for the quick research there. There it is, the 66 numbers. And greetings to John West. Hello there. Boy, the White Sox having a cheap owner, that never happened in history, did it? Here's the next pitch to Grody. 1-7, it's a base hit into right field. That's an open single. Swoboda can try to score on that. Probably won't. He's a 12. Staub with a -4 gun would make him an 8, and they're going to hold him at third. But the Mets have him cornered in the fourth with nobody out. Roy McMillan, the batter. McMillan, a C bunter. Fourth inning. This situation, I always like to look at the ground ball A's on the card, see what the double play possibilities might be. You've got about 11. Not many double plays for him. So I'm going to let the die decide, infield in or back. They will be back. Double play depth. Roberts stares in from the stretch. The pitch to McMillan is a 1-7 right-handed, and he walks him to load the bases. Grody down to second. The Mets have the bases loaded and nobody out in the fourth. Fisher coming to bat. He's a right-handed hitter. An A bunter. Infield back. And he's going to lay it down on the squeeze play. We're going for the squeeze play here. It's an 8B. Batter is safe. Runner on third is thrown out by the pitcher. Everybody else advances. So that's going to be a 1-2 force. Not as bad as it sounds. Bases are still loaded, and at least he didn't hit into the double play, right? Top of the order now, Ron Hunt with Cleon Jones to follow. Roberts into the windup. Pitch to Hunt is a 5-7. It's a ground ball to shortstop. Jackson to Morgan to Gentile, double play. And Roberts somehow gets out of that. Bases loaded, nobody out. And the old veteran Robin Roberts manages to pitch out of it. No runs, a hit, 2 left. Holy cow. Well, color me surprised. I don't know about you. I thought for sure the Mets were going to score in that inning. I remember that, yeah. They killed, that was Steve Dahl, right? The disc jockey, if I remember correctly. Of course, they did me a favor. I have to admit, I was one of those kids in high school writing Zeppelin rules, disco sucks on the bathroom wall. Yeah, yep, another skeleton comes out of the closet there. What can I say? Top of the order for Houston in the bottom of the fourth. They trail by a run. Here's Joe Morgan, 0 for 1 on the day. Jack Fisher gets the sign from Grody. Comes in there with a 3-8 right-handed, and he walks him. So Morgan, who already leads the league in walks, draws another one here. He's a star 15 stealer. Fisher a 0 hold. Grody with a -1 arm. He'd be a 14. They're going to hold him on at 12 in a tight ball game. And even though I don't use it much, this would seem to be a perfect hit and run spot for Jackson. He's going to play the hit and run. It's a 4 on an A, ground out, runners advance. So the play is to first. That's going to go 3-1 C, Morgan to second with 1 away. Very rarely use the hit and run, so you never know what you're going to see here. Once in a while I'll get a wild hair. With Morgan unable to steal 1 to 12, seemed like a good idea to get the tying run in scoring position for Wynn and Gentile. So here's Wynn, 0 for 1 today. Fisher gets the sign. Here's the pitch now to the toy cannon on a 4-7. Single to 3 on a 15. That's going to be fielded at first by Stewart. He flips to Fisher, and Morgan takes third on the play. So Morgan moving over 1 base at a time, standing at third now with 2 down, and Jim Gentile at the plate. Gentile lined to first his first time up today. Fisher trying to strand Morgan, Gentile trying to pick him up. It's a 3-12 high fly ball deep to right field. Backing up is Swoboda, still backing up, just shy of the track, hauls it in, and that will do it for the Astros. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We've played 4. It's 1-0 Mets. Here's Roberts now. This will be Roberts' first endurance inning. He's just a 5. Remember, he was like 39 or 40 at this point. And I believe the last year of his career. I know we've looked this up before. Pardon my short-term memory again. Yeah, I'm almost certain this was the end of the line for Roberts. Houston even gave up on him, and he ended up on the Cubs to end the season. Cleon Jones will lead it off for the Mets. Cleon 1 for 2 today. Here's the pitch now from Roberts. It's going to be a 1-7 right-handed. Fly ball into straightaway center. Wynn backing up. And he's there to make the catch. 1 away. Here's Boyer. Boyer 1 for 2 on the day. Roberts getting the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch on a 6-11 right-handed. Fly ball to straightaway left field. Count a corn for May. Barely has to move as he pulls it in for the second out. And that'll bring up Stewart. Stewart 0 for 1 with a walk. Roberts, the windup, delivers a 4-6 right-handed, single to 11, but on a 14, that liner is speared by a leaping Jackson at short. A 1-2-3 inning for Robin Roberts. Roberts, who settled down nicely after a little bit of a rocky first inning. 2 hits and a walk. We've got a good one going here today. 1-0 Mets. Fisher throwing a gem. And it will be Staub, Aspromani, and May. Staub 0 for 1. Pitch to Rusty, 1-12, grounder down to first base, fielded by Stewart. Underhands to Fisher, 1 down. That'll bring up Aspromani, line to second his first time up. Fisher, the windup and the pitch. It's a 6-12 right-handed. It's a grounder to the pitcher X. Fisher, a 2E19. Get my fielding chart out here. 2E19 on the pitcher. Here's the play on a 2. He can't get to it. That's going to be a base hit. That would have been a tough play for anyone. And Strat-O-Matic winds up with a single. No threat to run. And the batter will be Lee May. May 0 for 1. It really is, Ben. I agree. May grounded to second his first time up. Fisher working from the stretch. The pitch to May is a 2-12 right-handed. It's a ground ball down to second base. Morgan to his right has it. Flips to McMillan for 1. On to first, not in time. That'll be a 4-6 force. Strat-O-Matic erased. May to first. -112. He's not a star stealer. He's not going anywhere. Bateman will hit away. Fisher checks the runner now. The pitch to Bateman is a 5-7 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Bateman goes down for the second time today. No runs, they hit 1 left. Through 5. It's a 1-0 ball game. Mets in front. Houston had been hitting Franklin, but they've really gone cold of late, having dropped 8 of their last 10. And I'm going to take a short break and top off my coffee. Well, hell. Only able to get about a half a cup left there in the carafe, so I may have to fire up the pod here before this one's in the books today. For Robin Roberts, his second endurance inning, he'll be looking at Kranepool, Swoboda, and Grody here in the 6th inning. He had Kranepool, 0 for 1 on the day. Drove in the game's only run. Roberts into the windup now. Here's the pitch to Kranepool. It's a 3-5, and he walks him. Leadoff walk to Kranepool. Not a threat to run. And here's Swoboda. Now we're going to have action in the Houston pen. Not a save situation, so let's see what else we've got. Mostly righties. Give me just a moment here. I'm going to check the usage display on some of these guys, because several of these pitchers are very similar. Where is Don Lee? Lee, Chris Zachary, Bob Bruce, Ron Taylor, they're going to get Taylor up. Right-handed heavy lineup for the Mets. Kranepool, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup. And here's Swoboda, runner on first, nobody out. Swoboda 0 for 1 was plunked his last time up by Roberts. Stole second and was forced at the plate. Roberts out of the stretch. A 1-5 swung on and missed, strike 3. Big strikeout there for Roberts. The old man reached back for a little something extra there. And here's Grody, 1 for 2. Roberts working out of the stretch now. The pitch to Grody, a 4-11 right-hander. That's a base hit into left field, an open single. Kranepool could try to advance, probably won't. 10 to left, 8. May +1, 1 through 9. They're going to hold him up. First and second. And here comes Hatton, and that's going to do it for Roberts. Or is it? Boy, that's a tough one. We hit the double switch with him. Probably in the 7th spot with May. I'm going to throw it out to the chat. I'm leaning towards pulling him here for Taylor. Anyone yay or nay on that? I'll give you a minute. We got time. This game moving along quickly. See, Ben, you're thinking, my second guess was, yeah, if he can get through this inning, then they can pinch hit for him, leading off the bottom of the inning. He has favorable matchups here, a light-hitting shortstop and a pitcher. We're going to let him go. You're right, Kenyon, it was Fisher. Let me take a look here. I can probably... If I look under line scores, that should be pretty easy to see. Yeah, they beat the Giants 4-3. He pitched a good game. In fact, he beat his last 2 starts, he beat the Giants. He beat them at home on May 14th, 4-3. And he beat him in San Francisco on May 20th, 4-3. How about that? They're going to leave Roberts in to face McMillan. McMillan has not been retired, singled and walked. Runners at first and second, 1 down. The windup, the pitch to Roy is a 1-9 pop out left side. That's Jackson. 2 down, and here's the pitcher, Fisher. We're definitely not going to hit for him, throwing a shutout here for 5 innings. Right-handed hitter. Roberts delivers a 3-2, pops him up on the right side. Gentile waits for it to come down and gloves it, and Roberts gets out of the jam. No runs, a hit, 2 left. And that will do it. Yeah, I won't take the catcher out, Ben. I would have done it with May. I would have brought Dave Nicholson in the 9 spot and put the pitcher in the 7 spot. I don't like to mess with the catchers, especially in those days. In the 60s, normally a catcher caught the game. He caught the whole game. Oh, there were exceptions, of course. So Roberts' day will be done, trailing 1-0. The Astros will start off the 6th with a pinch hitter, but a nice game for Robin Roberts. He goes 6 innings, which I would have bet against, quite frankly, going into this thing. 3, 4, 5, 6 hits and a run. He walked 3 and hit a batter, so a little wild. I don't think he struck out anybody. Yeah, he did. Swoboda, that was it. That's the only one. Taylor will be the next pitcher. And let's see who's going to bat now against Fisher. Could be Harrison. Could be Davis. It's going to be Harrison. Chuck Harrison will be the hitter. That's leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Exactly, Ben. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And even though I don't use the injuries, try to retain some semblance of realism, right? Let's look at Harrison's stats. Harrison, 12 for 36, a 333 average in part-time play. He has a home run. Fisher gets the sign from Grody. The pitch to Chuck is a 4-7 righty, single to 3 on a 20. That's fielded at first by Stewart. He'll take it himself, and Harrison is retired. Top of the order, Joe Morgan coming up. Jackson to follow. Fisher into the windup now. That's a 5-3 lefty. A base hit up the middle for Morgan, who's been on twice today. Star 15 minus 114. He'll be held at 12. And here's Jackson. Jackson will swing away this time. He tried to hit and run last time, remember. Grounded out to first. Fisher working from the stretch. Pitch to Sonny Jackson is a 6-9. Lazy fly ball into left field. Crane Poole's right there to make the play, and there's 2 down. And Fisher twirling a gem here. Not out of the woods yet, as here comes the toy cannon. Win 0 for 2 today. Grounded to first base both times up. Fisher throws over to the first. Morgan back to the bag. Now set. From the stretch, the pitch to the cannon is a 1-12. Ground ball to short. McMillan will go the short way to Hunt. And that's going to do it. No runs to hit, 1 left. 6 innings in the books. Jack Fisher and the Mets leading 1-0. And as Kenyon pointed out, Fisher's been on a bit of a roll lately. Here's Taylor. Terrible numbers. But he's at least decent against right-handers. Only 1 left-hander in the Met lineup again, and that's Crane Poole. So if it gets that far, pretty sure Taylor won't face Crane Poole. And welcome aboard, Biff. Glad to have you on this Sunday. A football crowd today, as I like to call it. We move to the 7th inning. Top of the order for the Mets. Ron Hunt, 1 for 3 today. Singled in the first, grounded to short twice. Taylor gets the sign from Bateman. The pitch to Hunt is a 4-2 fly ball to straightaway center. That's going to be Jimmy Wynn hauling it down. And there's 1 away. Here's Cleon now. Cleon 1 for 3. Taylor into the windup. It's a 4-8 right-hander. It's a base hit into center for Cleon. Cleon with good wheels. He's on first with his 2nd hit of the afternoon, a star 15. Taylor a +1 hold. Bateman a 0, so that'll make Jones a 16. He'll be held at 14. And he's going to try for that lead. Low-scoring affair. Both teams trying to claw out anything they can. 2 through 7 will get him the lead. 9, he does not get it. Here's the next pitch to Boyer. It's a 5-3 fly ball to right field X. That's a tough play for Staub. Staub 3E13, ranging towards the line. Here's the play on a 7. He makes a nice running catch for the out. Ball shallow enough that Jones will go back to first. Nice play, Staub, 2 down. And it will be up to Dick Stewart. Mike Cuellar loosening in the pen. Should it get to Cranepool? Taylor from the stretch. The pitch to Stewart is a 3-5. Cut the corner, strike 3 call. Down goes Stewart. He doesn't like it, barking a little bit at the umpire as he walks away. For the Mets, no runs, a hit, 1 left. As we stretch for the 7th, this unlikely of pitching duels, the Mets leading it 1-0. And that's going to do it for Taylor. He's just going to work 1 inning today. This game much too close to have Taylor facing a lefty. Of course, the Mets could always pinch hit for Cranepool. We'll see what happens as we stretch for the 7th. Let's take a look at the Mookie can here. Looks like he's out like a light. Well, let's take a closer look. No, he's not out. He's looking out. You can see that it's not completely gray out there. There's some blue sky. I tell you, he just keeps growing. Alrighty. Excuse me. Okay, we're moving to the bottom of the 7th. Fisher, this will be his first inning of potential fatigue. He'll be facing Gentile, Staub, and Aspromane as Houston comes to bat, trailing by 1. Gentile 0 for 2 on the day. Fisher into the windup. There's the pitch to Jim now on a 5-4 lefty. He walks him. Leadoff walk to Gentile, and the tying run is aboard. Very slow runner in Gentile. And I've already burned the other first baseman. Chuck Harrison. Here's Staub, 0 for 2. And we're going to see some action in the Mets pen now. Lefty heavy team. They're going to get Bill Hepler up. He pitched in this game in real life, the lefty in the pen. He's joined there by another lefty, computer-only card, Gordy Richardson. Oh, the crowd noise? That's, Biff, that is a, you can look that up on YouTube. It's called Baseball Ambience All 9 Innings. Runner at first, here's Staub. Fisher set now. From the stretch, the pitch to Rusty Staub is a 3-6. Single to 8. Are we flat? Not quite. That's going to be a roll on the 20. Single to 8, line out anything else. He's got the single, a 1-star single, knocked down by Hunt, and he has no play. The first two Astros reach here in the bottom of the 7th. Tying run in scoring position. Go-ahead run at first. Aspromani at the plate, and one more hitter walk will fatigue Fisher. Hepler about ready down there. Fisher into the windup. 5-7 swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Aspromani. Big strikeout for Fisher. Grody's going out to the mound now. You've got May, a lefty, due up. Bateman on deck. That would be cool, Biff. So would some selected sound effects, you know, like a bat hitting the ball, or I had a bat hitting the ball on my other laptop, but it takes too long to get to it. So I gave up on that one. Fisher trying to work out of a first and second 1-out jam now. The batter May. He's bounced to second twice. The pitch from Fisher, a 6-7 grounder to second base X. This could be 2. Hunt a 3-E28, however. Tough play for Ron. Here's the play on a 14. He's got it, but his only play is to first, and both runners will move up. 4-3X. Second and third, 2 down. Bateman at the plate. Now you could walk Bateman. The Astros, however, we already know they're going to pull Taylor, so they're going to send up a pinch hitter for certain. Cuellar is ready to come in. Better off to take our chances with Bateman, I think. This is a big at bat for both teams. Astros trail by a run. They have second and third, 2 down. Fisher, 1 hitter walk from fatiguing. Still pitching a shutout, trying to get out of this inning. And here's the pitch to Don Bateman on a 4-8 grounder to short. McMillan to Stewart, and he pitches out of it. How about that? No runs, a hit, 2 left. Oh my goodness. And hello, Ken Castro. Welcome. We've got a pretty good crowd on hand now for a football crowd. The game must be over, right? I would love something like that, Biff, but I don't know anything about those things. If anybody knows of a device like that, by all means, email me a link. I would love to check it out, as long as it's not ridiculously expensive. As we go to the 8th, Mike Cuellar will be the 3rd Houston pitcher of the day. And let's take a look at the Met bench. Let's see if we're going to let Crane Poole come up. Or we could pinch hit. They're going to pinch hit for Crane Pool with Jim Hickman. Hickman would take over in left, a defensive upgrade to boot. He is a 3E5 -1. 12 runner, right-handed batter. Hickman hasn't played in a while. In the replay, he's 16 for 62, a 258 average, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Cuellar ready to go to work now. The windup to pitch to Hickman is a 5-6 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Down goes Hickman. He'll remain in the game in left. And here's Swoboda now. Swoboda 0 for 2. Cuellar with the sign. The pitch to Swoboda, a 6-4 righty, fly to center field X. That's going to be a tough chance for Wynn, a 3E10. Wynn going back now. Here's the play on a 7. Nice running catch by Wynn. He makes the play. Takes a possible single away from Swoboda. 2 down quickly, and the batter will be Grody. Jerry Grody's 2 for 3 in this one. As Cuellar comes set. The pitch is a 6-10 right-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Jackson, a 3E40. Jackson ranging behind the bag on a 10 E-range. It's an 8 on a 40, and he boots it. Error, Sonny Jackson. First error of the afternoon. Grody's aboard with 2 down, and the batter will be the shortstop, McMillan. McMillan 1 for 2 with a walk. That's good. Oh my goodness. Grody at first, 2 away. Cuellar from the stretch. The pitch to McMillan is a 1-7 left-handed. It's a grounder to short. Jackson will go the short way to Morgan, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left. After 7.5 innings, 1-0 Mets. Mets scored a run in the first inning and so far have made it stand up. Fisher's 7 scoreless innings. This will be his 2nd endurance inning. How far will they go with him? And who would they go to? You've got Hepler. Hepler's about your best bet. As far as pitchers with this is not a spot for Sutherland, that's for sure. Selma's done a good job. He had a save in real life. Boy, they had nobody with any saves, did they? How is that even possible? Hamilton led the team with 13. He's unavailable as he starts in 2 days. Okay, that makes it a little easier to stay with Fisher. I don't want to take Fisher out. I hate taking out a pitcher working on a shutout for one thing, but I also realize that the Mets are trying to win a game here. The Astros will pinch hit for Cuellar, another 1 inning out performance there. Don Lee throwing in the pen. And let's see who's going to hit here. Probably going to be Nicholson. It will be Dave Nicholson. He pinch hit in this game in real life. He pinch hit in the state in the game in real life. That may or not be the case here. In any case, Nicholson, 289 on the year, 4 homers, 10 RBIs. Fisher ready to go to work. Here's the windup and the pitch to Nicholson. That's a 2-7 righty. Did he go around? Check with the first base umpire. He says he went around. Strike 3. Nicholson down on strikes. And here's Joe Morgan now. Morgan 1 for 2 with a walk. Fisher gets the sign from Grody. The windup, the pitch to Morgan is a 1-10, double to 14. That's going to be over Swoboda's head in right field. He gets it back in, and Morgan rounds and holds with a long double. Morgan, good speed out there at second, representing the tying run. One more hit or walk will fatigue Fisher. Jackson due up. The toy cannon, Jimmy Wynn, on deck. Boy, not a lot they can do here. Jerry Arrigo joins Hepler in the Met pen. 2 left-handers. As the tension mounts. Tying run in scoring position, 1 away. Here's Jackson, 0 for 3 on the day. Fisher trying to bring it home. Westrom seemingly hesitant to go to his pen, and you can't blame him. And here's the pitch to Sonny Jackson. It's a 5-7 ground ball to second base. Hunt throws him out at first as Morgan takes third. That's the second out. And here's Wynn. Gentile on deck. They're going to put Wynn on. They're not even going to mess around with him. So an intentional walk to the toy cannon. That does present a base running problem with Jimmy Wynn's star 15 stealing rating. Minus 114. They're not going to hold him. Now they have to hold him. On the one hand, I don't think the Astros would try to steal 2 outs. Again, it's hard to think for both teams sometimes. But if he did, he's the potential go-ahead run. You can't let that get into scoring position. So they'll hold him on 1-12. Fisher, the intentional walk, of course, does not count against Fisher's fatigue as he tries to get Gentile here. Fisher checks the runner now from the stretch. The pitch to Gentile is a 1-10, and he hits him. And the bases are loaded. Holy smoke. Gentile hit by the pitch. Rusty Staub due up. And that's going to send Grody out to the mound. This is a nail biter. I'm taking a closer look at Staub's card here. Staub actually a little better against left-handers. And that's all they've got. They've got Hepler. This is not a good spot for Arrigo at all. They're going to stick with Fisher. Okay, the meeting on the mound is broken up. Fisher's staying in. Bases loaded, 2 down. Rusty Staub at the plate. He's 1 for 3 on the day. As Fisher comes set, the full windup. The pitch to Staub is a 2-9, 2-star single. Here comes Morgan to score the tying run. Right behind him is Wynn. And the Astros rally to take the lead at 2-1 on a 2-run single by Staub. All the way to third goes Gentile. That fatigues Fisher. Now here comes Westrom. It kind of makes sense that it should have been. I can see that for sure. I can see the argument for that, absolutely. I've just never played it that way. It's basically like a walk, isn't it? So Fisher pitched a hell of a game. That's a shame. Carried a shutout for 7 2/3 innings. They're going to bring in Hepler. I tell you, one reason I stuck with Fisher so long is because the Mets don't have Jack in the pen. 3, 4, only 5 hits allowed by Fisher. Walked 3, one of them intentionally, and hit a batter. Four strikeouts on the day. 2 runs so far, runners at the corners, his responsibility. And here's Bill Hepler now. Hepler in the replay. He's just been in 6 games with a 10.8 ouch ERA, 5 innings of work. He's been plastered. 10 hits and 6 walks in 5 innings. The card obviously much, much better than that. You're right, Ben. I tell you, I feel bad for Fisher at this moment. I really do. I was pulling for the shutout. You know that. God, I love the complete game shutout. One reason you won't see me playing any modern era teams. Okay, runners at the corners. Astros lead it now 2-1. Aspermani at the plate. Hepler ready to work. The left-hander winds and deals. 1-11. He pops him up right side. Hunt makes the catch to end the inning, but too little too late. The Astros take the lead with 2 runs on 2 hits and leave 2. And closer Claude Raymond will be coming into the game. Let's take a look at the Houston defense. I don't think there's anything here that can help them, honestly. We could have gone... normally I'll bring in Nicholson. We could do that, actually. Nicholson batted in that inning. He could stay in left field. That doesn't even make any sense here, though. Yeah, it actually kind of does. Okay, Nicholson will stay in and left. Let's see what we've got here. That'll put the pitchers. Where's Nicholson? May will come out. That would put the pitcher's spot leading off the inning, but he's going to bat that inning anyway. You're not going to take any of these guys out. Nicholson a 3E11 -1 and left. And Raymond, who you may remember in his last outing, had a complete meltdown. Who remembers that? 2-3 with 5 saves, but a 7.65 ERA so far in 20 innings of work. He's been anything but a sure thing. The Houston pen almost as bad as the New York pen. And the Mets will start things off with a pinch hitter. I should have double switched with Hepler. Well, it may not matter. We'll see. Still, I should have done it. We can close the book on Fisher. A fine game by Fisher. He may end up the hard luck loser here. Let's see who's going to come off the bench now for New York against Claude Raymond. It would seem pretty obvious who the hitter is going to be. It's going to be Johnny Lewis, who hit in this game in real life. Lewis has some power. Left-handed hitter. Okay, here's Johnny Lewis. On the season, just 129. Trying to get his season untracked. Raymond into the windup. Here's the pitch to Lewis on a 5-5 high fly ball to deep right field. Going back is Staub. That's going to be over his head and hit the base of the wall. Lewis rounds, heads for second. Staub gets it back in. And Johnny Lewis with a pinch hit double here has put the tying run in scoring position with nobody out. Lewis, a 1-14 runner. That's good enough. It's been hit and miss for him, Kenyon. Yeah. I imagine he was pretty good in the 5 saves and terrible the rest of the time. And Lewis with a pretty decent card against righties. Yeah, he was due, Biff. Top of the order now for the Mets. Hunt 1 for 4 today. Raymond checks the runner. The pitch to Hunt is a 3-8 right-handed. That's a grounder to short. Jackson looks the runner back and throws him out. 1 down. Cleon coming up. Cleon 2 for 4 today. Boyer on deck. Raymond a check of the runner. The pitch to Cleon. 3-8 right-handed. Did he go around? They check with the first base umpire. He says he did. Oh my God, Jones is livid. Chalk up a strikeout for Raymond. Jones barking at the first base umpire. But the Mets are down to their last out. They have the tying run in scoring position. 2 down in the 9th. 2-1 Houston. Ken Boyer coming to bat. Dick Stewart on deck. Raymond and Boyer. Raymond set. The pitch to Boyer. 6-8 right-handed. It's a fly ball to right field, and that's going to do it. Staub is there to make the catch, and that's the game. 2-1 the final. Astros pull it out. And I'll have the totals for you in a moment. There's Rameau's 6th save. That's right, I had Lee when they were trailing. He picks up save number 6. Boy, it's been feast or famine for Rameau this year. What a game. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Kenyon. Thank you, Franklin, Biff, Razor, everybody. Rameau in his inning, 1 hit, no walks, and a K. That makes Cuellar the winner. He's 3-2 now. And poor Fisher. Oh man, 2-5, and he deserved better. Well, I almost want to give player of the game to Fisher. I know he lost, but 5-hitter. We can do that, right? It's player of the game, not MVP. He doesn't have to be on the winning team. I can certainly see the support for Staub, Franklin. I get that. 2 for 4, drove in both of the runs. I'll go with you guys. Player of the game, Staub, with an attaboy for Fisher. So that would make the totals for Houston in the win. 2 runs, only 5 hits, 1 error. The Mets just 1 run, 8 hits, no errors. Oh, geez, and I forgot about the interview. Well, I'll have to go back and watch it. I was looking forward to that. I snoozed on it yesterday. So that's the ball game. Let's look ahead on the schedule before I get out of here, see what's on tap for tomorrow. Oh yeah, I would do it. Why not? Tomorrow we'll have the Philadelphia Phillies at the Los Angeles Dodgers. That should be a good one. Bob Buell for the Phillies. Don Sutton for Los Angeles. That's 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern, as always. The date and time. Well, what time of day is best for you, Jeff? I'm pretty wide open. I'm kind of thinking after my game's over, maybe, although I could certainly do it in the morning, which would be maybe better for you. You're 2 hours ahead of me. Technically 3, but my clock 2. Frankly, I don't think I'm all that interesting, guys, but I'll do it. So 11 Pacific is actually noon to me. Yes, something like that would be good. 10, 11, something like that. Right, so that's noon to me. That's 2 for you. That would be 2.5 hours before my game. That seems like a good time. As far as day, pretty much any day but Saturday. Works for me. Probably not tomorrow, though. I have to grocery shop tomorrow. I might not be back by 11. Is Friday good? Friday is good. Let's set it for Friday. You can set it up. Someone on my Thursday stream can remind me or hit me over the head with a blunt object or something so I don't forget. I'm going to put this one in the books, and I'm going to go watch Jeffrey's interview with Dave. All right, so everybody, enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. I'm going to get out of here. In the meantime, Spokane Steve wishing you all a pleasant good evening. Take care, everybody.